One of the things which sets NFNA apart as an academy is our immense focus to help you translate theory into practice by providing you with detailed diet planning assignments so that you can check if your understanding in class has been solidified or not. Once you submit these diet plans to us, we, the faculty, will actually provide you with constructive, detailed, and personalized feedback to help you understand not only where you went wrong, but also areas in which you can improve so that you don't make the same mistakes when you're dealing with clients in the future. Let us quickly glance at one of the plans which was submitted to us by one of our previous students about diabetes and see how well they did on this plan. Okay, as you can see over here, this is a plan that has been made for a client named Mr. Bhushan, and you can also see that the student has provided a lot of details on the kinds of calculations that have been done, the food exchange groups. This is something that you will learn more about when you actually enroll for the course. You can also see that the meal wise breakup has been given by the student about which ingredients will go in which meal, and then finally the actual meals have also been given. It's really good to see that the student has not just included one option per meal, but in fact multiple options have been included per meal so that the client doesn't get bored while they're following the meal plan. Another notable thing is that the notes have been provided with a fair amount of detail. So for each and every option, the notes have also been provided. Now it's important for you to understand that this is a plan that the student has been able to make after learning with us for approximately 4 months at the point at which this plan was provided. So even you would be able to make very detailed plans like these for your clients in the future. Now let us quickly look at the feedback that we have given for the student. As you can see in this feedback, the feedback is not a generic feedback. It's not just paragraph upon paragraph of what the student can do to improve in the future. You can see that the feedback is parameter specific. That is, you can see on the left side, there are columns which mention each and every parameter which the plan has been judged for. You can see protein calculation, quantity specification, vitamin C, calcium, iron. So these are some of the common mistakes which students make, and that's why we have judged the plan from this particular standpoint. Now here you can see that the quantity specification is mentioned. It says that in front of quantity specification, only grams have been mentioned. That is, the student has mentioned the quantities only in grams, and this is a problem, which is why the student scored a 0 on this particular parameter. Why is that? Because when you're providing diet plans to clients, you cannot give quantities in just grams and expect the client to understand what those grams mean. For example, if I mention 75 grams of bread, what does 75 grams of bread actually look like? So for this, the student is also expected to provide a visual comparison for the client to understand what 75 grams of bread looks like. This usually means that 75 grams of bread can perhaps be written as 3 slices of bread instead. That would be a much easier way for the client to understand what that quantity actually refers to. Then you can also see what the client did well in. You can see that the client did well in terms of fruits, vegetables, nuts, and seeds. All of these have been mentioned and provided in adequate quantities in the plan, which helps the client make sure that they are getting enough fiber and also good enough nutrient consumption. You can also see the meal options and finally feedback which is specific for diabetes as well. You can see that saturated fat has not been mentioned. Now, important to note over here that for clients with diabetes, it is important to limit their saturated fat intake. That limitation has not been taken into consideration in this plan, which perhaps means that the saturated fat in this plan has gone beyond what has been recommended, which makes it slightly less optimal for the client to follow this plan. So there are many more examples that can be provided over here. Is the plan realistic or sustainable? Even the plan presentation itself. So we are not just looking at the contents of the plan, but we are also looking at how well the plan has been presented. How well does the plan actually look for the client to follow? This provides the student with holistic feedback and also help the student understand specifically where they have gone wrong. The color coding in this feedback helps the student understand that, okay, wherever there is red, I need to focus over here. Wherever there is green or yellow, these are okay areas and I don't really need to focus too much on this area yet, right? So yes, this is how the detailed feedback helps you as a student improve and get much better at diet planning for your clients.